Helplessness. Meghan went frenzied when Catherine strengthens her royal image. Now, as you all know, I am an American, but still, I have a lot of interest in the royal family and in the British media. So I want to talk about if Catherine or if the Middleton family actually suffered during the 8 years that this amazing young woman was placed under the microscope, from the time that William first became attracted to his future queen until the time when they finally got married. And I'm gonna tell you that before and after they got married, Catherine and her whole family were absolutely hammered by a pretty vicious press from all directions. So did they ever react? Did they ever sue the press? Absolutely not. There are videos out there where you can see what it was like for Catherine and her family while William was dating her, and I think it's good to consider things from their perspective. I mean, maybe if you've got any common sense whatsoever, you can also understand why her voice always sounded a little bit nervous when she was being interviewed. Catherine was never a celebrity, and she certainly never slept her way to the top. She was just a normal young woman, and Prince William chose her. He chose a young woman who he could relate to and who was fun to be around, somebody who made him feel confident and good about himself and his future. And that's what most men, and for that matter, women too, really need in a partner. When they first got married, the Queen gave them some time to just enjoy life together before they were forced out into the public. She was smart enough to understand that as an heir, William had a role as future king, and that would be a huge responsibility that he would one day take on that would stay with him for the rest of his life. The Queen got that job when she was only 26 years old, and she describes the happiest years of her marriage as the time that she spent in Gibraltar while Prince Philip was a naval officer. And they were actually just treated like normal civilians when they were there. So for that very reason, she was hoping that William and Catherine could share such an experience, and she let her grandson just continue working as an emergency rescue pilot while they were living a private life for a few years. And then 7 years later, Harry met Meghan and they got married, and they were offered a home in the country, and Meghan, if she wanted to, could have continued with her acting career. Now they had cut her role in Suits, and so she announced that she wanted to hit the ground running. She did not have the wisdom of Catherine, and she messed up pretty bad. She was pretty confident when it came to public speaking, but what came out of her mouth proved to be an absolute disaster. And there has been so much whining coming from Harry and Meghan. But let's take a look at a video about the Middleton family and how much they actually suffered at the hands of the press. But even so, they never went on the offense. They never stabbed anyone in the back. And Catherine is not doing anything different now. Her kids are finally old enough that she can feel a bit more comfortable being away from them. See, I think the 40s is an absolutely amazing decade to be a woman and a mother. Catherine looks fantastic, and I think she's got a really good family routine going on. She's really coming into herself these days, and it doesn't have a thing to do with the Sussexes at all. When she first joined the royal family, people criticized Catherine. They said that she was dull and uninspiring. They said that she didn't have good fashion sense. She was labeled Duchess Doolittle. I mean, the media was really harsh. They said some very ugly things about her. It would be enough to break most anybody. But not one single time did Catherine complain. Not one single time did we ever see her upset or angry. Instead, she put her feelings to the side and she set out to address the situation. But she did not walk away from her own beliefs. And now, like a butterfly, she has emerged as a grounded, beautiful young woman. She is the mother of 3 beautiful, well-raised children, and she fully supports her husband, who absolutely adores her. Is she full of herself? Definitely not. So please do not confuse self-confidence for self-absorption. And then on the other hand, we've got Meghan and Harry, who actually carried out very few engagements when they were working royals. So some people have calculated that in approximately 17 months, they only had about 72 days worth of royal engagement. So they carried out tasks that were assigned to them by the monarch, and they were representing her in an official manner when they walked away from the ranks of the working royals. The tasks that the suspects had been expected to carry out had to be reassigned among the remaining working royals. And that meant a few people who had mostly been under the radar got more tasks, and they were featured in more news reports. Both the Queen and the heir are at an age now, and most people have retired from their jobs, and most people at that age would have settled into retirement. But the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are very busy these days. They are in advanced training to help Prince Charles for the time that he becomes king, and they're busy preparing themselves for when William in his turn becomes king. So it's pretty fascinating to many people across the world the way that the head of state of 15 countries, as well as the head of the Commonwealth, which is 53 countries, transitions to their legally appointed successor. King Charles will ascend the throne when Her Majesty passes away, and then he'll be followed by King William. He will become king when Charles passes away. Both Meghan and Harry will probably be invited to celebrate the lives of the monarchs when they die, and they'll also probably be invited to the more joyful celebrations at the beginning of the new monarch's reign. But Meghan and Harry decided to position themselves as non-working royals, so their position in the family is outside the main activity that the working royals are busy carrying out and maintaining the relevance of the monarchy today as well as into the future. Before Harry got married to Meghan, Catherine was already beginning the role, and then his decision to give up on being a member of the working side of royals was really a greater burden that was passed to both William and Catherine, and so that resulted in Catherine becoming better known. Catherine has already begun on the journey that's going to define how people are going to view her contribution to the monarchy within her lifetime. She will certainly become the Queen Consort of Great Britain and other realms as well. There are some people who disagree that the role of the monarchy has a place in modern society. They want things to change, but they're a bit vague about what exactly they want to replace the monarchy with. And if you dig through history to find alternative choices, you can see that the UK has actually tried out a lot of forms in the past and it's settled on something that is suitable for most British people, and it also would allow for a change to occur if it's needed. Many people in the US criticize the monarchy, and yeah, they're entitled to their own opinions. But the truth is a lot of my fellow countrymen may not have the depth of knowledge of a different country that existed well before the first European immigrants ever founded settlements in the US. But the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are active members of the royal family, and they're really leading the way of the monarchy for the next few generations to come. William is busy working with his father toward a common goal, and it's probable that their values are going to be passed on to William's kids and maybe his grandkids. Someday, Catherine is going to have a significant role in that whole process, both as consort to the king as well as mother of future kings and queens. And you? What do you think about them? Please tell me what you think below in the comments section, and everyone else can also discuss your thoughts and feelings. Remember to like and share my video with anybody else who needs it if you think our video is interesting.